just got to wonder, this seems to go beyond incompetence, and you wonder, how can this be? Why would this be that this political narrative is so strong that they would put the rights of people that aren't citizens, potential jihadists, in front of the rights and the protection that they've taken an oath to uphold and preserve of the American people? You wonder what's in that mindset that allows for this to happen to America.
Pennsylvania Republican Congressman Scott Perry on the Fox News channel ruminating on the restrictions that kept our government officials from reviewing the social media postings of terrorist Tashfeen Malik. With Miranda Khan, J.D. Hayworth back with you now on Newsmax Prime.
And J.D., before Congress can go back home for Christmas, an agreement on spending must be reached with the White House.
Yeah, it is called an omnibus spending bill, but Miranda, there's been a long-standing joke that a bill like this should really be called ominous. And sadly, it appears Paul Ryan has a plan that I think fits that description. To talk about it, let's welcome in the aforementioned Congressman Scott Perry of Pennsylvania, joining us from Washington, D.C.
Congressman Perry serves on 3 committees in the House: Homeland Security, Foreign Affairs, and Transportation. Welcome to Newsmax Prime.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Scott, look, I've been through this. I know there's give and take on these agreements, but Speaker Ryan has made a huge concession. Apparently, there will be 100% funding for refugee resettlement and the Obama administration's immigration priorities. Can you vote for a spending bill that funds those programs?
I don't see how we can. I mean, these are the issues of the day. These are the things that people are concerned about. And with all due respect, we broke the caps on at least one of those issues, the Syrian immigration issue. And, we had 47 Democrats cross the aisle with us just 3 weeks ago. So it seems to me that a bill like that is something that could be put into here. We have a consensus. We have bipartisan approval of this thing, and that we should pump the brakes on the Syrian refugee thing. If we're going to fund the government and we're going to break the caps, put something in it that Americans from a policy perspective are interested in, and at least give us some reason to vote in favor of this, as opposed to saying, oh, we're just going to continue to spend like there's money just keeps on coming forever, and we're not going to do anything about the most concerning issue of the day, which is this Islamist terrorism that's plaguing the world and has now come home to our country.
And speaking of that, we know that the San Bernardino shooter came in from Pakistan. You recently held a hearing on that nation. Why should we be so concerned about that particular country?
Well, as you already said, Miranda, this murderer came originally from Pakistan, was educated in one of these madrasas, then went to Saudi Arabia for further indoctrination in this jihad, and then posted this stuff, comes over and murders a bunch of Americans. So we need to be concerned when the money that taxpayers are sending in goes to countries that are kind of fighting terrorism, but it doesn't really look like so much when you get into it. Over the past 14 years, we spent $30 billion on Pakistan in some kind of a friendship relationship, an allied relationship what we have, where there are numerous terror networks operating within the country. The Haqqani network, Al-Qaeda is there, numerous other ones, and let's not forget that they harbored Osama bin Laden when they knew we were looking for him. So we've given them all this money. We're talking about a deal for F-16s, and the American people, I think rightly so, are saying, what are we getting out of this again?
Well, mindful of that, Scott, I mean, there you guys are in conference just about every morning, and then in the cloakroom, how much pressure are you getting from leadership to go ahead and vote yes? And when push comes to shove, do you think the Speaker will try to pass this with Democrat votes? 20 seconds left. Go ahead, sir.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that it'll have to be with Democrat votes. And of course, leadership always wants you to vote for these things. We just think there's a better way of doing it. We think the American people sent us here to fight this agenda, and that we're not really in the fight right now. We keep on hearing this is the best we can do, but we never reach for any more.
Meet the new Speaker, same as the old Speaker. At any rate, Scott, we very much appreciate your time. Good luck on getting this thing settled. You heard what he had to say. What do you have to say about this proposed ominous omnibus? Send us your comments at newsmaxtv.com/comments. Up next, Sarah Palin. In part one of our exclusive interview, she reviews some of the prominent presidential candidates in the running for the Republican nomination. You heard me right. Sarah Palin is next. So stay tuned here on Newsmax Prime.